Do you want to be more creative? In this video, I would like to discuss about 4 topics that I use to be more creative. So if you want to be more creative in your job or in your projects, in your music, in your arts, or in everything, watch this video until the end because I will give you something that probably you will like. I am a musician and all the time in my job I need to be creative. When I'm composing, or when I'm preparing some classes, when I'm teaching, when I'm improvising, all the time I need to be creative. But I think that this is possible to practice and be more creative in all areas in the life, not only for artists or musicians can be creative. I think everyone can be creative and practice to be more creative. So first, subscribe to the channel if you want to be more creative, because here I will give more ideas, material, film scoring analysis. This will be good for you. The first topic that I would like to discuss is necessity. So necessity is the mother of all inventions. Why the man created the fire, the wheel, the internet, the cell phone? So every time that we are in a situation that we need something, that we have some necessity to go fast to another place or to talk to someone, we develop or we access the creativity to create something. For example, in the 2 great world wars, they invented a lot of things to win the war or to solve problems. For example, the internet, the communication, the technology was very increasing in this time because they have some necessity. For example, in music, Johann Sebastian Bach, one of the great musicians of all time, he needed to compose one song, one cantata per week. A cantata is a song about 40 minutes, and he needed to write one cantata per week to have food for your family, to provide something for your family. So it's a necessity. So how you can apply these concepts of necessity? You can be, or you can put yourself in a situation that you have some necessity to finish something, to do something, for example, in your job, or when you really have some necessity, I need to do something, you will be more creative. Now the second topic that I would like to discuss is observation. So the good observators are good creators. For example, Leonardo da Vinci. He created a lot of things, a lot of inventions he did. He did the Mona Lisa. He did a lot of things. And when he was a child, he liked to observe the plants, observe the animals, the human body. And doing that, you can copy the things that you are learning, the things that you are observing in the nature, in the city, in the people, and you can use this material in your thing. For example, in music, Beethoven, when he was composing his 6th symphony, that is called Pastoral, that he would like to describe the life in the country, because he liked to pass some time in there. In this symphony, he described the storm, the sun rising, the life in the country, in the countryside. And in this time, when he was composing, talking with his friend, he asked to his friend, "Can you hear the rocks, the trees, the animals? For me, it's like they are singing to me." So he was observing the nature and then copying and putting this in his song, in this music. And how can you do this in your life? You can observe everything, the things that are inside of your job or your thing that you need to be more creative, or in other areas of the life. For example, you can observe the people, the traffic, the nature, everything you can observe, and this will help you to be more creative. And the third topic is knowledge and studying. The more that you study, more elements you have to create. For example, in my situation, I'm a musician. The more that I studied the guitar, the scales, the arpeggios, the other ways to play, another techniques, more elements I have to create a music or to improvising better. For example, in your area, if you wanna to write a book about the Vikings, you can study the Vikings, the names, the places, you can go to the places, and you will have material to write your book. So through your knowledge. So the knowledge help us to be more creative. You can study something inside your topic, inside the thing that you need to be more creative, but you can study also things that are outside. For example, I'm a musician, but if I study some animal, I can bring some ideas and put this in the music. So this is a good way to be more creative, studying, going deep in the things. Our last topic is about imagination. In the imagination, we can split in two different ways that you can use. Asking a question like if I do a song with 3 different orchestras, with a bass solo and a large drums and a core, so you can imagine these crazy questions, and after this you need to see if it's possible to do this thing, to create this thing. So for example, if you are an architect and you want to be more creative, you can asking something like, if I building something, if I building a house inside of the water and you can create crazy stuff, crazy things, and after you can see if it's possible, and in this way you can be more creative. For example, Steve Vai, a great guitarist, I saw he talking, someone asking to him how you can be so creative, because Steve Vai he used different ways to play guitar, his different techniques, and he said, sometimes when I'm in my bed, I'm start to think and do questions about crazy things that I can play in the guitar. For example, if I play the guitar in different ways with these 2 hands, and after in the another day I take my guitar and see if it's possible. So it's a good way to be more creative. And another way about imagination is using the imagination in a pure way. For example, in music, I can imagine the music, only the music in my mind. For example, a melody. La da la da da la da la da da da. I am imagining something now and here. And pure is more pure. For example, if you work with clothes, you can imagine a clothes that will be orange and green, and this way you can imagine it something. Or you are an architect, you can imagine some house and just imagine this, nothing doing questions. But something nice about everything that I'm saying is all these 4 topics are together. For example, someone asking me to compose for your film, for your movie. So now I have a necessity, because if I don't do this, other person will do. So I have a necessity. And what this movie is about, for example, is about Vikings. So now I will observe these Vikings. I will study these Vikings, what they did, what they are, their customs, where they lived. I can go to that place and observe this, and then I will start to imagine things, asking questions. For example, if I create a kind of songs that remember the hammer of Thor, and then I am mixing all these topics to create something. And you can practice these things. For example, for musicians, a good way to practice is imagining singing. You don't need to have your instrument. You can compose and you can create something in the car when you are taking a shower. You can sing the melodies, you can imagine something. For example, I'm going to my job and I can sing something and record in my cell phone, and then I see if it's possible to play. It's a good way because sometimes we limit ourselves in something. But to create, I need to have my instrument or I need to be in my place. No, you can change the ways. You can compose it everywhere because the creative is more mental than technical. So I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you. Bye bye.